Hi there, everyone. Welcome on board another informative Jamaica Magazine journey. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. There's a lot in store for you in this half hour, starting with the news of the day. You can't miss out on any of it, so stay with us.
We know you want better roads in your towns and communities. That is why through the Spark program, your government is allocating over $40 billion over 2 years to fix your community and rural roads. $20 billion will go towards fixing smaller roads in every area, with $150 million allocated per area. The remaining funds will be distributed based on road length and condition, ensuring areas with greater need receive more assistance. Your government is caring for you.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JS News for Monday, December 9, 2024. The 2024-2025 cruise tourism season got off to a strong start, with 10 vessels calling on the 3 main resort ports between December 2 and 5. The vessels brought with them 34,519 passengers and a combined crew of 13,137. Carnival Legend was docked in the Montego Bay cruise ship pier with 2,183 passengers and 918 crew members. In a historic day for the Port of Falmouth, 2 vessels, Disney Treasure and Royal Caribbean Cruise Line's Celebrity Ascent, made their inaugural visits on December 5. Disney Treasure is the latest in the Disney Cruise Line fleet, and in an impromptu press conference on board the vessel, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett stressed that the close to 7,000 passengers on both vessels was significant for a single day in Falmouth. President and CEO of the Port Authority of Jamaica, Professor Gordon Shirley, shared similar sentiments.
The Disney Treasure, in its inaugural period, coming to Jamaica, signals the strength of the relationship with that cruise line. And it is one that we hope to deepen. Disney has already announced several other vessels to be launched over the next while. And our aspiration would be to have as many of those visit Jamaica as possible.
Minister Bartlett has hailed the early and robust start to the season as further proof of the recovery being seen in the cruise subsector, which suffered a major setback in 2020 when the COVID-19 pandemic caused a total shutdown for 17 months. Now the island has welcomed 1.1 million cruise passengers since the start of 2024, which Minister Bartlett points out matches the record number secured in 2019 for the same period. The Trade Board Limited TBL has achieved ISO 9001-2015 certification, a globally recognized standard for quality management systems. The certification was formally presented during a recent handover ceremony hosted by the National Certification Body of Jamaica at the AC Hotel in Kingston. The scope of TBL services covered by the standard includes the issuance of trade licenses or permits, certificates of origin, and letters of origin. It also confirms the global standards for the certification of motor vehicle and scrap metal dealers, as well as the collation, validation, and updating of information for the Jamaica Trade Information Portal. Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce Senator Aubin Hill says this international certification for the Trade Board enhances Jamaica's reputation as a destination for high-quality products and services. He adds that it also opens doors to new export opportunities and expanded market access. Senator Hill is urging other public and private sector entities to embrace international certification as a means of driving sustainable growth, productivity, and global competitiveness. The Ministry of Justice has officially launched simplified materials on legal aid services for persons with disabilities. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Graceland Stewart McFarlane, says this is meant to reduce some of the challenges persons with disabilities face as they navigate the justice sector.
They are designed to provide simple, clear, and accessible legal information in formats that are tailored to meet the diverse needs of persons with disabilities. This includes audio, that's voiceovers, visual animations, and easy-to-read posters and flyers, ensuring that no one is left behind in the quest for justice.
Program Specialist and Officer in charge of the United Nations Development Program UNDP, Stacey Ann Tomlinson Knox, adds that the initiative is a significant step towards inclusivity and empowerment for all members of society.
The launch of information materials on legal aid services in Jamaica is more than the unveiling of a resource. It is a bold declaration that persons with disabilities deserve equitable access to information that empowers them to claim their rights, navigate legal systems, and contribute fully to our society.
The educational materials were developed through funding provided by the Government of Canada. The project was implemented by the UNDP in partnership with the Ministry of Justice and the Legal Aid Council. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang says the mobile police station in Gregory Park has resulted in a reduction of serious crimes in the community. During a tour of the station and the community last week, Dr. Chang asserted that proximity policing was key to the stability in public order and flow of commercial activities.
Since this post has been here now, I have not had one single report of a major act of violence between the communities. And we still have the tool of state of public emergency. We'll use any element that is required to provide public safety at any point in time.
The community in recent times had been plagued with incidents of shooting, and a Member of Parliament for the constituency, Alanda Terrelong, says the police command post has normalized a sense of peace.
The residents are very happy, they're thankful for it. And what the police presence does is, we speak about proximity policing, but there's still the element of what we, old school community policing. Just on Saturday evening, we were here with some of the officers. There were 4 officers here Saturday evening. And, you could see them going through the community, speaking to residents. Again, the business life has returned.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, has intensified its action plan for the festive season, which will run until January 6 next year. These include the suppression of criminal activities and the movement of criminals, the management of vendors and vending, traffic management to reduce congestion, and maximizing public order and safety. Acting Commissioner of Police Michael Phipps of the Area 4 Division says in the corporate area, these will be enforced by key units of the JCF in partnership with the JDF, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSMC, and the business community.
The aim is really to address the potential issues that we may face during this period. In doing that, we have developed a very holistic approach which seeks to incorporate all the resources necessary, and we will seek, as part of our main objectives, to disrupt criminal activities by dominating public spaces. That includes the townships, shopping centers, transportation centers, without any inconvenience to law-abiding citizens and any abuse of their rights.
ACP Phipps was addressing a KSMC press briefing on Thursday. He says vehicular and people checkpoints will be instituted to deter the movement of criminals and illegal firearms. This will be supported by stop and searches of suspicious persons within town centers and bus parks.
I want to issue a warning, especially to those with ill intent and others who would want to perpetrate acts of criminality, that our intolerance levels will be at its highest against them, as we will go very hard at the robbers, extortionists, and the gangsters who may choose to play out their conflicts in these spaces. In other words, this particular grouping will be the focus of our attention, and we will be coming very hard at them.
And finally, significant traffic changes designed to ensure safety in the downtown Kingston Business District during the busy Christmas season take effect today, December 9. The changes were announced by Mayor of Kingston, Councillor Andrew Swaby, during a press conference at the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation on Thursday. Mr. Swaby says this is to facilitate a greater ease of doing business and a smooth flow of traffic that is safe for drivers and pedestrians.
The Haywood Street will be a one-way traffic heading from east to west up to Orange Street. West Street, one-way traffic heading south between Spanish Town Road and Beckford Street. Pigeon Street, one-way traffic heading south between Spanish Town Road and Darling Street. And Beckford Street, one-way traffic heading west up to Orange Street.
The Mayor says consultation for the undertaking was had with the JCF's Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, the National Works Agency, and the City Engineers Department. He also disclosed that the National Solid Waste Management Authority has agreed to increase garbage collection in the commercial district. Meanwhile, designated vending zones have now been clearly outlined along Beckford, Princess, and Haywood streets. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
Season's greetings to my fellow Jamaicans. This Christmas, let us celebrate in true Jamaican style and commit to safer roads. Last year, we lost over 480 lives in road accidents. This holiday season, let us do our best to stay below that number. Drive responsibly, slow down, avoid distractions, and never ever drink and drive. Buckle up, especially the children, and always watch out for pedestrians. The holidays are a time for joy, not sorrow. Let's ensure everyone arrives safely. From all of us at the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport, have a safe and happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. God bless you all.
The Bank of Jamaica BOJ plays a critical role in managing inflation, which is the general rate at which the price of goods and services rises. The target rate is currently set at between 4 to 6% as part of the goal of maintaining a healthy economy. Now we'll turn our pages for more insight on inflation targeting from the central bank.
Hello, I'm Elan. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Inflation Watch, where Bank of Jamaica highlights the main factors influencing price movements in Jamaica. At August 2024, headline or annual inflation, which is the general rate of increase in the prices of goods and services as measured over a 12-month period by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin, was 6.5%. As expected by the bank, inflation at August exceeded the 4 to 6% target range. Inflation in August 2024 was primarily driven by increased prices of certain food items, including fruits such as ripe bananas, pineapples, watermelons, and dried coconuts, as well as vegetables and starchy foods like sweet peppers, tomatoes, yams, and green bananas. These price increases stemmed from lower supplies of agricultural produce due to the impact of Hurricane Beryl. The outturn was also influenced by the continued impact of fare increases for route and Hackney carriage taxes in October 2023. Higher rental and electricity rates also contributed to higher headline inflation at August. Inflation at August was higher than the 5.1% recorded at July 2024, but remained well below the peak of 11.8% recorded in April 2022. This higher inflation at August relative to July reflects the negative impact of Hurricane Beryl on the Jamaican economy. However, the generally lower inflation at August compared to the peak in April 2022 and several months since then was supported by BOJ's monetary policy. On August 20, 2024, the bank announced the Monetary Policy Committee's decision to continue the gradual easing of its monetary policy stance by 1. Reducing the policy rate to 6.75% per annum, 2. Continuing the gradual reduction of BOJ's absorption of liquidity from deposit-taking institutions through open market operations, and 3. Continuing the bank's proactive stance of preserving relative stability in the foreign exchange market. This decision reflected the committee's view that despite the effects of Hurricane Beryl, inflation is projected to largely remain within the bank's target range over the next 2 years, after temporarily breaching the upper end of the target range over the next 3 to 5 months. That is between August 2024 and December 2024. Now that you are aware of the factors that influenced the inflation outturn at August 2024, let's check in with my co-host, BJ. In this episode, he will recap his conversations on monetary policy.
This is BJ with a recap on monetary policy. The actions central banks like BOJ take to manage inflation. One way they do that is by controlling the amount of money in the economy. Money, monetary, Get it? One cause of high inflation is too much money trying to buy a relatively small amount of goods and services. The more you cut spending is the less money to cause prices to go up. Monetary policy usually works by influencing the price of money or interest rates higher or lower. Interest is paid to a lender as a reward for borrowing their money, like how banks pay interest to encourage people to save with them. Remember, the main policy tool BOJ used to control inflation is the policy interest rate, the money they pay to commercial banks on their current accounts at the central bank. Increases in the policy rate encourage banks to put away more money. Changes in the policy rate also affect interest rates in the financial markets where people save and invest. Higher rates here cause investors to save more. Central banks also reduce liquidity in the system by offering investments called certificates of deposits or CDs. This process is called open market operations. Of course, central banks can also cut liquidity by telling commercial banks how much money to leave in a special account at the central bank. They call this the cash reserve ratio. Cash reserves are also like money for a rainy day, in case a lot of savers want back their money at the same time and at short notice. That helps make sure the banking system is stable. Good thing that? What you think? Drop me a line. More on inflation next time.
Thanks for those useful reminders, BJ. And that's a wrap for Inflation Watch this month. Join us again next time when Bank of Jamaica will bring you another episode of Inflation Watch, where we track inflation and explore the factors influencing price changes in Jamaica. Until next time, I'm Elan. Take care.
Join us next month on Inflation Watch to see what the inflation number will be.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
The judiciary has stood as the cornerstone of fairness and order, and as society evolves, so must its system of justice. In our next feature, we'll learn about the strategic plan for reshaping the judiciary to meet our changing world.
Welcome to the launch of the Strategic Business Plan.
This plan is a reflection of our resolve to leverage the strengths of our nation in addressing our challenges. It is a pledge to continue our journey towards a judiciary that not only meets but exceeds the expectations of the people we serve.
This new business plan carries with it several treats for the stakeholders, with the core values of fairness, accountability, impartiality, integrity, independence, innovation, and respect. And that goes into the acronym FAIR. And commitment, communication, courtesy, accessibility, responsiveness, and empathy. And that goes into the acronym CARE. There is something in it for everyone. The business plan is also impressive as it involves a robust enterprise risk management system to ensure its sustainability and mitigate against numerous threats.
Nobody's business, nobody's business, nobody's business but me all.
The strategic plan, benchmarking the future, consolidating excellence, has at its foundation 5 years of consistent consultation. It is the backbone of our judiciary. Court proceedings lie at the heart of our mission to administer justice impartially, and efficiently. A well-functioning judiciary requires robust processes and infrastructure to support its operations. Effective leadership and governance are essential for guiding the judiciary through periods of change and uncertainty. As such, emphasis is placed on the importance of visionary leadership, strong governance structures, and sound policy decisions to ensure the integrity and independence of our judiciary. Our core function is to serve the needs of the Jamaican people. As such, meaningful engagement is essential for building trust and promoting accountability.
We have no doubt that the idea is that you will improve the efficiency and the speed with which cases are being delivered. With this strategic plan, in completing cases speedily and in a timely manner, it will allow more revenue to come within the system.
Next year, we'll be establishing formal training programs for the leadership core of the courts, for the leadership judges, for registrars, for court administrators, supervisors, to develop the skill and competence in managing courts. What we wish to do here to improve the professionalism within by which the courts are operated. And so this strategic plan is designed to take us there.
Our new strategic plan addresses the fundamental changes facing our judiciary head-on, with a focus on increasing stakeholder satisfaction, enhancing trust in the judiciary, improving data management, streamlining internal processes, and upgrading court infrastructure, among other key objectives.
And having traveled around the Caribbean and even to the United States as well, I can safely say that there's no other jurisdiction within this region that has the quality of data that we have collected over the last 7.5 years.
A well-functioning judiciary was essential to economic development and social stability. And I'm happy to see that that has been recognized and that the work of the Judiciary of Jamaica is supporting the economic development and social stability in this country. So this momentous occasion today signifies commitment to improve and reflects dedication to the principles of justice and fairness that underpin the legal system of this country.
Jamaica, I can help you protect our citizens.
Jamaica Eye will play a part in increasing your public safety.
Jamaica Eye is part of an island-wide network of camera surveillance systems designed to increase the safety of you, our citizens. If you have a camera system outside your home or office facing a public space, log on to jamaicaeye.gov.jm today. Jamaica Eye, we're all connected. The Ministry of National Security, creating a safer and prosperous Jamaica.
The holiday season is a time for joy, family, and food, but a few simple mistakes can turn your feast into a fiasco and put your health at risk. At this next juncture on our journey through Jamaica Magazine, we'll get tips to prevent food-borne illness.
Dangerous strains of bacteria such as E. coli and Salmonella can cause serious health problems when the food we eat become contaminated through improper handling and not being properly cooked. In light of the dangers, there are some important precautionary measures we must observe to protect our health.
We have to make sure we know where we're purchasing our food. If it's straight from the farms, if it's from the market, it's from the supermarket, it's from the meat shop. Ensure that it is clean. When you are preparing the food, ensure that you have a separate cutting board for meats, separate cutting board for vegetables, and you're constantly washing your hands. If you're going to eat out, ensure that the environment in which you're going to take your family is one where you can trust that the food is being prepared in a clean environment. We love our street food, and we encourage, as Consumer Protection Agency, we encourage that economic activity. But we're saying you have to take precautions as well. Ensure that your street food are from reputable person that you can trust.
Check the expiry date on food products before purchasing and check them again before cooking.
In food preparation as well, the education is to ensure that you separate the raw from the cooked. The raw and the cooked is a totally different environment. So when you mix the two, that's when you have contamination. That's when you have food poisoning. That's when you have a member of the family who might end up in the hospital because they're either very young or they're elderly or their immune system has been compromised.
Discard any food that looks or smells questionable. Don't allow your food to stay open and accessible to flies. Containerize and refrigerate or freeze leftover food before 2 hours after cooking. And always store meats and seafood in sealed containers.
The second thing about food safety is you have large amounts of food laid out for a couple of hours or more, and the family keeps coming back, dipping, visitors coming, dipping. You have to ensure if you have the food out for more than 2 hours, hot food, be very careful, especially if you add sauces and other condiments on the food. It tends to go a little off early, and that is where you have problems if you have an elderly person or a young child. Make sure that you put that away early, that you don't put your family at risk, because food poisoning, most of us get well quickly, but it can lead to death if your immune system has been compromised. So we're saying be safe with your food. Ensure that when you package them and put them away, they're packaged in portions where when you take them out to reheat, you don't reheat the entire thing and then put it back in the refrigerator. So you apportion it according to what you're going to be using, so you don't increase the risk of food poisoning or any other bacteria entering the food.
Ensure meats are cooked thoroughly. Remember, improper food handling can mean the difference between a trip to the emergency room or enjoying a tasty meal.
We are the youths united against corruption, changing the world and the way we function. The youths united against corruption, changing the world and the way we function. You remember the youth, them are with future leaders, policy creators, decision makers. As if them are not just the cornerstone, but a crucial part to a better tomorrow. United against corruption, changing the world and the way we function. The youths united against corruption.
A message from the Integrity Commission.
Our half-hour journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine ends right here for today. But please join us again tomorrow on this station for more news, features, and information you can use. In the meantime, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for this and other offerings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Until next time, take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.